In my last video, I said I avoid words that I cannot say. Today, I'm confronting them on camera. And this isn't easy. I've spent the past 2 decades of my life intentionally dodging these words. But there's no shame in getting stuck when you speak or sounding disfluent. My name is Mac. If you didn't watch my last video, I have childhood apraxia of speech, also called verbal dyspraxia. And when I was making that video, I felt a little conflicted because I didn't take it in one take. I really focused on my speech, whether it was trying to improve the prosody or rhythm of my speech or avoiding words I couldn't say. And a lot of people in the YouTube comments complimented my speech, and that actually brought back a memory from when I was a freshman in high school. I was in school having a hard speech day, and I went to the back of the library where I started to cry. And I actually went to YouTube to try and see if anyone else was experiencing the same feelings that I was. And I came across someone with apraxia, and they were brave enough to post about their experience for everyone to see. And her speech was actually quite fluent, and to say bluntly, I was envious of how she sounded. And my immature 15-year-old self left a not so great YouTube comment, and I wish I could take that back, but the reason why I'm sharing is because someone listening to my videos might feel the same way. And I want to emphasize again always that communication disorders, whether it's apraxia, stuttering, dyslexia, whatever it is, it's a spectrum, and my experiences, my struggles might not exactly match yours. This video isn't about sounding good. It's about not hiding. It's about gaining confidence with your voice. It's about trying even when it might come out messy. It's about showing what it actually looks like to work on your speech out loud, even when it's uncomfortable. There's a lot of social stigma around disfluency, whether it's stuttering, having an accent, or sounding a little off. And we rarely talk about how that feels and accept it to be a norm. We should talk about it. There is nothing wrong with sounding a little off or having disfluent speech. And I know there is courage in practicing how to speak when it's not easy. So I'm going to list out a series of words that I struggle with even after 8 years of therapy when I was younger. I'm kind of old now, 24. And over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to be practicing by myself and with the support of my former SLP, Lynn. And after, I'm going to share what changed and what did not change. These words I struggle with the most. First one is world. Usually I replace it with earth. Second one, tour guide, toral. Third one, curl. I tried to move my articulators in different ways, but I still had a pretty hard time saying it. And same with if you swap the C with a P, pro, still have a really hard time. And this one in particular, curl, I imagine myself as a future doctor talking to a patient. That word might pop up, but that's why I'm here making this video. I don't want to hide from words. I want to practice and try my best to say them. These words I've gotten better at, and I'm pretty sure I can nail them in the future. First one, or this one gave me a lot of trouble when I was young, but oil, I've gotten better at it. Remember, I raised my hand in school, but I put it back down because I didn't want to say the word. It's funny, all of these different words, I have memories associated with them. Second one, scroll. Remember 4th grade, someone pointed out that I had a hard time saying it. I think I can nail it if I really focus on it. Other one, girl, like girlfriend, girl. Next one, beautiful. People understand me, but I know I sound a little off. Next one, I've gotten way better at this as I've gotten older. Art. The next series of words are science terms, and this brings back a memory of high school biology where you're confronted with these long multisyllabic words, whether it's an amino acid like asparagine or deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. And it's intimidating, and I even thought maybe I'm not cut out or made for science if I can't say these long words and I have a hard time spelling them. It sounds silly in retrospect, but imagine if I let that idea stick into my head. It would change my whole career trajectory. Thankfully, I didn't let that stop me from pursuing my love of the sciences. I recently graduated from NYU studying biology and recently got accepted to some top grad programs. And now, another point I want to convey, knowing how to say words is very important, but what's more important is understanding the key concepts behind them and knowing how and when to apply them. That's 1,000 times more important than knowing how to say them. And I just want to end this little segment by saying, if you have apraxia or a child with apraxia, take a moment and think about how small, seemingly trivial events like what I just mentioned, not being able to say science words, they quietly penetrate your brain and push you away from something you might potentially love. Don't let that happen. Don't let that stop you from achieving your goals. Okay, I'm going to list 4 science terms. I've gotten better at these the past year. Some I'm better at than others. First one, epiphenomenal. Can say the individual syllables, but stringing them together. I've gotten way better at it than 6 months ago, but still struggle with it. Second one, hierarchical clustering. Third one, epirephrine. Fourth one, there's I think 2 ways to say this, but laryngeal. Now there are some words where I can say them, but I have inconsistency. Sometimes I say them right, sometimes I say them wrong. One, for example, variety. Sometimes I slip up and say variety, but variety. This section covers names, and I know us with apraxia are not alone in this category. Names are notoriously difficult. First one, Earl. I've gotten way better than when I was in middle school. I had a basketball teammate with this name, and you would not catch me calling out his name on a transition fast break. Second one, Popple. I picked this one because I'd say, conquered it. I've practiced a lot and messed up a lot since learning about him the past year. David Popple, I should say, probably one of the most famous speech neuroscientists who actually visited my lab, and I was lucky to spend half a day with him. And I want to say a lot of words, names I can say perfectly fine, like my college friends, Kevin, Kai, Parker, Aya, Emily, no problem. But there's a few, like my friends Sierra and Sunga, I had to practice more than once. And another situation where names pop up are games like Cards Against Humanity or reading out loud, like popcorn reading would really increase my heart rate. And foreign language class, just broadly speaking, was really anxiety inducing. I want to end the video saying this. Speech is incredibly complicated. Your brain is coordinating over 100 muscles to work together to produce air into sound, into what is essentially a pressure wave coming out of your mouth in a very precise way. We often worry about trying to make that pressure wave as perfect as possible. But speech is so much more than that. It's about how you feel when you speak. It's about how the other person who receives your speech, how they feel, and how it feels to be understood. That goes beyond whether every articulation is correct or not. So as you're practicing your speech, do not lose sight of what communication is actually for.